All right, it was a nasty, cold and wet day. The drizzle may continue overnight.
And on top of that, we may have some snow showers. Evan, what's in store for tomorrow?
That's right. We have been tracking that rain all day today. Could even be an isolated snowflake or two trying to mix in. Have had a couple reports of that here across Hampton Roads. Mainly, though, just some light rain, some mist and drizzle around as that steadier rain has worked its way off towards the east. And it really will start to just taper off. There's some mist and drizzle here as we get closer to the midnight hour. Out towards the west, though, we've got this next system, upper level system that'll cross over the mountains and move through Hampton Roads tomorrow morning, starting around 9 a.m. in western parts of the area. Likely clear the coastline just after noon by about 1 or 2 o'clock. And that will be enough, I think, that we will see some of these snow showers. But with the warm temperatures we've seen, readings not dropping below freezing tonight, and all the wet moisture, roads and grass and everything out there, not expecting much in the way of accumulation. So here's Futurecast through the overnight. The first batch of rain moves out. Here's that next batch of moisture moving in, and with temperatures again above freezing, what does fall will likely not stick on most surfaces. Could stick on some grass or maybe some elevated surfaces. But as we go through the morning hours, we'll look for a few of those snow showers. They should clear out of here as we move into the early afternoon. How much are we looking at? Not much. Notice the decimal points in here. 1/10 of an inch, 2/10 of an inch, maybe up to a ½ inch in a few spots off towards the north. But again, likely on tops of grasses, cars and decks and things like that. I'll time things out a little bit more with Futurecast to let you know what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. Tonight, a state trooper was hit while working in a safety work zone on the interstate. State police say this was a hit and run, and they are still looking for the car that hit the trooper, then took off from the scene. It happened just after 8 o'clock on I-64 near the Route 199 exit in James City County. All eastbound lanes were shut down earlier tonight while state police investigated. The trooper has non-life-threatening injuries. The work zone is in the area where VDOT crews are working on that I-64 widening project. Sad news tonight. A missing woman from Poquoson we told you about was found, but she died after medics took her to the hospital. Kathleen Diggs had been missing since Thursday night. She had bipolar disorder and did not have her medication. State police say someone spotted her lying face down in a ditch today in Hampton near the I-64 entrance ramp from the Hampton Roads Center Parkway. She was incoherent and having trouble breathing, and again, she died at the hospital.
Charges reduced for a Virginia Beach woman accused of killing her husband. Brianna Sullivan was charged with second-degree murder. Today, a judge dropped that to voluntary manslaughter. The judge did not find that Sullivan killed her husband in malice. Sullivan says she shot the man last July after he threatened to kill her. A firearm charge was also dismissed. Sullivan is set to face a grand jury next month. She is in jail without bond.
Today, a judge denying bond for former Portsmouth police officer Stephen Rankin. Rankin shot 18-year-old William Chapman outside a Walmart back in 2015 after responding to a shoplifting call. Rankin has spent 15.5 months behind bars on a voluntary manslaughter conviction. He will finish his 2.5-year sentence in November, but his lawyer is trying to get him out now. Today, the prosecution and defense weighing in.
He should be subject to the time that the jury said he needed to serve.
Knowing what we're dealing with, it's an uphill battle, so I'm not surprised.
Now, Rankin's attorney is appealing 2 issues from the trial. If the Court of Appeals determines there was a mistake during the trial, we're told Rankin could get a new trial. That means a jury could find Rankin innocent or guilty once again on that manslaughter charge. But that would also mean a new sentence, possibly up to 10 years.
A big scare at the bus stop today. A teenager was shot while waiting for a school bus. He was standing with other children when it happened.
And I just heard pop, 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 pop. We just ran home and said somebody was shooting out there.
The crime scene, Marshall Avenue in Newport News, near the Boys and Girls Club. Police say someone in a red SUV pulled up next to the teenager and shot him in the leg. The boy is a student at Heritage High School. He is expected to survive. Police are still looking for the gunman.
Have you heard the terms Bitcoin and Ripple?
Well, these are 2 types of cryptocurrency that are disrupting global markets and challenging the very idea of how we use money.
But could you end up using it to pay for things like groceries? A new Virginia Beach-based company thinks so.
Jacqueline Lee explains how it's pushing to make Hampton Roads a cryptocurrency leader.
Cryptocurrency is just another form of currency like the US dollar or Japanese yen, but digital. It's just another way for people to exchange goods and receive a form of payment. And Virginia Beach wants to be at the forefront of what some are calling this new era of banking.
Its forms have changed over time, but its function stays the same. Centuries ago, it first started with bartering. In the 1200s, it progressed to cash. Plastic was introduced in the 1950s, then apps in the last 10 years. Now, there's cryptocurrency.
This is just like the internet in 1998. Everybody was convinced they were going to be on the internet, but no one knew what they were going to do with the internet.
This is Tom Flake. He's the co-founder of Because, a Bitcoin mining data center that just began operations in Virginia Beach.
And I think there's a lot of money to be made.
What Flake's company does is mine Bitcoins. All of the computers in these boxes, which are owned or leased by customers, are documenting transactions. Hypothetically, if you buy a car from someone using a Bitcoin, one of the computers records it on a digital ledger called a blockchain. It's kind of like balancing a checkbook. The computer's owner then receives a small payment in Bitcoin.
Each customer can buy or lease the computer, and regardless of their background or understanding of the cryptocurrency world, I have just as equal of a shot at making a Bitcoin as someone who is well versed in that language.
Yes, and on average, one of these machines should earn you about 0.7 of a Bitcoin each year.
Only 21 million Bitcoins can exist. So far, 80% are in circulation. To mine for the rest of the Bitcoin, these computers have to solve extremely complicated puzzles. But Bitcoin and cryptocurrency also raise some red flags.
It's decentralized, there is not direct control on transactions, on money.
Without a central bank or even a government backing the cryptocurrency, it is managed by the people who record the transactions, the miners. And while critics say Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is a bubble waiting to burst, the city of Virginia Beach gave Flake's company a $500 million grant to begin operations.
The technology behind the cryptocurrency, that's exciting because there are so many other companies around the world that are finding new applications for this blockchain technology beyond just traditional cryptocurrency.
Back in the warehouse, Flake said work, credit, and encryption backs cryptocurrency, the same way work, investment, and good faith backs the dollar.
But there's nothing regulating these cryptocurrencies.
Okay. What regulates Apple iPay? What regulates Visa? Why is this any different? I think it's only different in people's mind because it's new.
While cryptocurrency's future is certainly unclear, it's making its mark on financial markets around the world. And Flake thinks taking the risk is worth it. In Virginia Beach, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
A Virginia Beach man says someone stole his car, and it could easily happen to you as well. Last week, Murray Ashman says he came out to his driveway in Chicks Beach and his car was gone. He filed a police report. After sharing his experience online with his neighbors, he realized other people had their cars broken into as well. Ashman realized the thief took his car after finding something he forgot was in the glove box next to the owner's manual.
Rifling through cars up down the street until they found one that had a spare key in the glove compartment. So that's how they got my car. So this is the kind of thing that could happen to anyone.
Ashman says his car was recovered the same night in Hampton, but he hopes sharing his story will be a reminder to others.